So BTC with a little sell-off here at the moment. I see the S&P also turning over a little bit, but that could be an opportunity for us for a couple of entries that we've got. Then I've got a couple of altcoins that are looking fiery for you guys. We got some big trends that look like they're going to get approached, big trends that look like they're going to break. I think we've got some big potential trades coming in hot for you guys. There's tons to talk about here. Too much to mention right now. Stick around. We got a lot going on. And if you're enjoying the dump, hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. And Ray's still bullish. I mean, I'm wearing my bullish hat. He's wearing his bullish hat. He's wearing his bullish goggles. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is bullish AF. And the stuff is going down. Look at this beam yesterday. We covered beam a couple of times this week. 9%, little banger. Gaming waking up, guys. Think about this. Gaming is waking up. I've got IMX for you, looking a little bit bullish as well at the moment. Look at Matic. That thing is still absolute dog shit, but still pumping. Injective looking good. That's going well. Render, okay, making a comeback. Is AI the next play for us? And look at this. Look at this Filecoin 6%. But notable again, Whiff is cooking. Floki is cooking, and Phantom from yesterday is cooking. So guys, let me know in the chats, who of you took advantage of that Phantom yesterday? Oh, we went from handbag money to watch money pretty quickly there on that little pump. Guys, let me know if any of you got some of that Phantom action yesterday. And then I did drop in the polls now. Now I'm wondering if I got stopped out, but I did drop in the polls here quickly. I said, quick scalp trade here. What are we doing? XRP or Solana? And I see 64% of you are enjoying a Sol idea at the moment. So let's see. If I've been stopped out, we'll have another go. And I'll show you the Sol setup that I'm watching at the moment. Okay, BTC on the 4-hour, typical little sell-off. These guys always come and do this as we go live. There's never a dull moment here at this time slot that I'm on. And a nice little bleed out here. Naturally, going to get rinsed live on the show. Okay, so we're looking at 59,624 coming in hot. Okay, let's look for potential longs here. 59,624. We're looking for a bounce there. Ray, keep us posted there on the tiny candles. Let's pull some fibs here. Let's see where our 618 is. I'm taking a fib from that low. Wait, I want to take a fib from this low over here. This is the earlier low here. Okay, so we're taking a fib from the low on yesterday, Tuesday. 20th of August to the high. So our fib ties in beautifully here. 59,624 to 59,700. Okay, looking for a potential bounce there. We also have our rising trend in place. So we're going to watch the zone, look for that. Okay, I want to see some kind of bounce here in this region. And once again, you know, no changes here. 50-day MA, that's our resistance. This whole region here for us, 62K, it's a hot zone. 61.5, hot zone. 62.9, hot zone up there. But we know, okay, when we eventually blow this region, we're going to be firing. Okay, but right now, the positive things we've seen is these altcoins, they've done pretty well in the last 24 hours. And I think this might be a little sign for us on a little bit more fun that is coming. And Urfi says, don't go long XRP. He says, don't want to get liquidated again. Fuck XRP, guys. Now, let's see. I've been stopped out. Okay, I got stopped out on XRP. I was long XRP and I was long Sol. Okay. XRP strikes again, bro. Fuck. And here we are. So you can see I'm currently in a Sol long. There were two options today. We started a challenge in the Sniper Club today called the 10x challenge, and the first trade that was dropped today was an XRP trade. So I thought, geez, on that little pullback, I better get that XRP. So I've opened XRP and Sol together here, and I wanted to see how that's going, but I've been stopped on XRP. Okay, so Solana, this is me on Prime XBT. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm tracking this rising trend at the moment. You can see we do have a little bit of support in this region. So we're going to watch this as we go. Okay, so Sol is still active, and I do have the full chart ready for you guys. And I'm going to explain that setup to you guys in a minute. Let's just look at what else is cooking out there. So I was saying things get a little bit volatile here and things get a little bit spicy. And Don Crypto Trades just reminding us Bitcoin has been selling off right before and at every US market open recently. Now there's always action, sort of just like an hour, 45 minutes before I go live. These things always start bouncing around and things tend to get a little bit spicy. But notable here, there's a current trend here and there's a pattern with what is happening now. The Fed meeting minutes came out today. Okay, this is the Kobisi letter, just reminding everybody, majority of Fed members believe it's appropriate to lower rates at the next meeting. blah, blah, blah. Number 6, easing too late could unduly weaken the economy. And the bottom line, the first rate cut since 2020 is coming next month. Okay, so everybody has now got what they want. And Gary says, what's the rune thing? Gary, what's the rune thing? Tell us. Tell us what the rune thing is. And Stevenification says short XRP. And Justin says the old dinosaur coins like XRP are dog shit. Guys, Matic, Litecoin, XRP, Ethereum Classic, the list goes on. BCH, all those types of things. And the list, yeah, there we go. Popcat is the way. I agree.
Did you say Ethereum?
No, Ethereum, I'm an ETH bro, until proven otherwise.
Okay.
I'm an ETH bro.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Okay, this is horse. Okay, so I wanted to show you this. Not too long ago, I think about a week ago, I showed you this guy, Zoran Cole, and he told us that 33K BTC was coming. And I was like, fuck, this guy's like super bearish here. And, he had his reasons for it and things like that. And he's cropped up again. So he's now commented on horse. So this is the flow horse. He says, Powell speaks at Jackson Hole tomorrow. What are your predictive views on his speech? And Zoran's come out. He's looking for a dump. Look at this. 53 to 55K BTC, 2,300 ETH, 120 to 130 SOL. So he's looking for a sell-off here. Okay. And he might have a thing. He might have a point. We see quite a few of these altcoins sitting at resistance here. So if BTC doesn't bounce at that level that I've just given you guys, we might be in for a little bit of a slide. Okay. A little bit of a move lower down.
Tell me in the comments, guys. 39.5 or 63 first.
Come on, bro.
39K or 63?
39. No, come on. Okay. ETH versus NVIDIA. Now, have you ever seen this? NVIDIA versus ETH, okay? I just wanted to bring this up because this might just be a sign for altcoins in general. It might be a sign for crypto in general. I thought this was an interesting chart. I've never seen anything like it. So this guy, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, has compared ETH USD to NVIDIA. And basically, this thing is at the bottom of a descending wedge and looks like it's time for a potential bounce, okay? So that is an interesting little chart that he's just dropped here for us. And that could tie in to some NVIDIA results that we got coming up. And that is happening next week, I believe. So there's a lot to talk about here, guys. So stick around. S&P 500 daily. Look at this thing. Ooh, this thing is now double topping. Okay, we're nearly there. Okay, what have we done? We've closed this gap. Look at this little gap. We know these guys love to come and close these gaps. They've just closed this gap here. And now, little bit of weakness today. This is not a good sign. Okay, this could hurt a little bit of crypto as well if we get some kind of big sell down. And what I'm watching here, we've got our gap lower down. So the 5,450, that for me is the long zone. If this thing does fall over, that is where I'm looking for longs. It's a typical gap close here on the 50-day MA, banging into the old 618 resistance, which is going to be a support area for us. So 5,450 S&P. Let's see. Okay, that's it's going to hurt though. This is quite a lot of downside here. Let's just take a look at the size of the movie on the S&P. That 2% is going to burn. Woo, that is going to burn. Okay, liquidation map. And let's see, no real sort of defined regions other than the big layers on the outside here. So this is the one-day liquidation map I'm watching. Up to about 64K is looking interesting there if we're going to rinse out the shorts. And then to the downside, look at this, 57,800. That's a nice little region there to the downside. And let's just see where that 57,800 ties in. Ooh, that's going to be a deep burn. That is down here. That is on this trend, and that is around about this anchored VWAP. Look at this anchored VWAP floating around over here. So that is our next level. So if we get some kind of mega meltdown now and we don't bounce at the level I've just given you, 59,600 to 59,700, sit back and wait. Okay, there's going to be damage, there's going to be destruction, and we're going to look for this bounce a little bit lower down. This 57,800 region could come into play for us. Okay, so playing it safe. BTC on the daily, no changes. All you can see here on the daily, very tight range. If you buy BTC occasionally on spot and check your account, every few weeks, you've noticed nothing. There's zero difference. If you're obsessed with trading like me and you're staring at the charts all day and things like that, wow, we've had some massive moves. But if you're an occasional trader, nothing is going on here on the daily. Your big support, you can see it here. It's 57, call it 57K, upside 62K. So right now we're in this range, no changes. Okay, when we break a range, we get excited. When we lose the range, we get depressed. Okay, but basically that is what we're waiting for. Jeff likes 63. Let's go. Okay, we got so much to cover here today, guys. So, okay, here's the SOL chart. So there were a couple of options here on the SOL. So I said to you guys, XRP scalp or a SOL scalp, which one are we looking for? And we're not out the water yet with Solana just yet. Okay, so the idea behind this trade, let me just show you what's going on. We had a descending trend, okay, looking nice. We had a little trend break earlier today. Okay, that was nice. What did we reject off? Look at this. This anchored VWAP coming into play again. Okay, look how this thing acts as resistance and support. Look at that. Beautiful. And here we go. We pumped into the anchored VWAP and we have now rejected. Okay, so your buy options after that. So after you get a trend break and a pump, you're looking for bullish buy options. Your buy options generally are 382 region, 618 region. Those are your general areas that you look for some kind of bullish bounce. So first region number one, this is our 382. This is where we are right now. That is buy zone number one. You can see we are bleeding through that currently. If you did buy this thing earlier, your risk on this potential trade on the 1 hour was about somewhere in the middle of this box, would be about 0.4% risk, give or take. If you buy it higher, it's about 0.6% risk. Now, your next option is to wait for a bullish bounce on the 618 lower down now. So you can either hold that position or you can sit in this thing or you can cut this thing and then look for a lower entry off the 618. That most likely coincides with BTC then banging onto this level that we gave you just now. That is going to be this 59,600. So look for some kind of tie in there. If BTC bounces at that region, that's a 618 bounce for BTC. That should tie in then with a Solana potential bounce there. So that is what I'm watching there. Let's just get this back. And that bounce for me is 141. So look for the next area, 141. You can see this thing is set out clearly. And the reason this thing looked bullish earlier, we had an inverse head and shoulders. So it was teeing up. And as you guys might have noticed, unless you've just woken up, we've had quite a bullish day out in the markets. Things were absolutely flying. Bogdan, I've got you on GRT. It's ready for you, sir. And I've loaded this one up for Bogdan, actually. And funny enough that he's mentioning it. So right now, Sol is in a zone of interest here. If you want to have a crack at this one, your risk is absolute minimal. And you can exit this thing round about, say, 141.8. Alternatively, you wait for the 618. You look for that bounce in that region there. And you can play around this area. And then your exit plan there is about 140. You can jump out of that thing if it starts failing at around about 140. So watch that area closely here. Let's see. I'm just hanging on here on Solana at the moment. Let's see. This trend is just ball hearing it for me currently. Let's see if that is going to hold. So guys, we got so much. I've got so much coming up for you guys. I've got about 5 or 6 charts that are looking dangerous on some of these dailies. And I've got some B&B action, believe it or not. We're covering Tron again. And so stick around. I've got everyone covered here today. And don't forget, smash the like, smash the subscribe, hit the bell, the deal. Let's go. AVAX. Okay, you guys were wondering why AVAX was ripping. I was wondering. We had a $200 million unlock the other day, and Grayscale have come to the party for AVAX. Okay, so they're launching their AVAX Trust. Okay, that's bullish. We saw that on Tao. We saw that on Sui. They had a couple of other tokens that ripped, and AVAX part of the game. Now, what do? AVAX is at resistance. So if you are sitting at AVAX right now, you would be excused for taking profits. Look what's in front of you. Horizontals, 50-day moving average, okay? Don't be scared to take profit yet. Yesterday, I took profit on Phantom, and it was a good feeling. When you bank those profits, it's great, okay? You buy the wife a handbag, maybe get yourself a watch, whatever the story is. But AVAX right now, horizontal, 50-day moving average, 24.8. You've got resistance here, okay? There's also a major trend in the way. So if you zoom out on AVAX as well, and you actually look at the big picture, you're going to see there's a big trend in the way here too. And let's just get this, let's get this trend out. Bang at the highs there. And look at that. Okay, you've got trend resistance as well. Okay, so what does this tell us? This tells us we are at a big resistance zone. We've got trend resistance, 50-day MA horizontals. Okay, if you were in a leverage trade, now's your time. Take some profits, raise your stops, de-risk, do the thing. Okay, if you are sitting in spot, well, you can see this thing could pull back a little bit, and you might be getting entries lower down again. Let's see what that looks like. You're going to pull a fib from low to high, and you want to just get some kind of idea as to where you can potentially get a pullback. And right now, if you're going to remain bullish, we look for a bounce in that region, and then we want to kick on. Okay, for AVAX, or alternatively, the market could start melting faces and we could blast through this thing. That's another story. There'll be a new entry when you get that retest on support. So all I can suggest here, if you are leveraged and you are long in AVAX, you are at resistance, exercise caution. There's bears shorting here. Okay, this is the bear zone on AVAX. And maybe, you know, it's a nice feeling taking some profits. Okay, this is me now trading on... Sorry?
BTC near your level.
Okay. Let's say, okay, if we're going to get this thing, we got to get this thing. There we go. Okay, let's see. Ah, here we go. We're sitting on a 786. Okay.
Yeah,
we want it
like
at. Okay, a little bit lower. We want a 59,600. Okay, give it time. Okay, so here I am on WEX. I closed that Phantom, absolute banger, and I've still got this R weave left that we're trading, and then I've tried a ton position. I'm going to show you why I've tried ton. It's looking interesting. It's been very quiet for the last while. Everything else has been pumping. Ton's been actually just drifting lower. And if you watched my show maybe a week or two ago, it was at resistance, and now it's just bleeding down currently. But we couldn't ignore it where it was sitting now. So let's take a look at this. Phantom number one had a beautiful pump here, and the profits start turning. They start looking too good. Okay, and when you start staring at your account too much, thinking, "Ooh, I'm making profits here," that's normally a time where you want to start cutting or just take something off the table. So, Phantom, I'm out. Where's my next Phantom trade? Well, there's a couple of plans here. You can see we've got big horizontals here in front of us for Phantom. So there is danger ahead. Okay, so where's my next trade? We either get some kind of drift down now. We're going to drift this thing lower, probably come and close this little gap here, bang onto this 50-day MA. That is probably the next best trade for you on Phantom, 42. Okay, if you're waiting for a new Phantom trade, 42 looks like an interesting zone. If it does run before, you're most likely going to break that trend. Okay, so you can always zoom in 15 minutes. You can try and catch that trend break and try and ride that thing. But remember, be warned, big resistance for you on Phantom at 47. Okay, 47 is a big region here. Just be safe in that area. And more often than not, these altcoins, they come back to the trend eventually. Okay, so you can feel super euphoric and bullish, but bang out the trends, they eventually come back to that trend. Okay, at some point, they're coming back. Okay, so be safe there. Limit X says, I took the Phantom trade, but I shorted it. When? Yesterday. I hope you didn't short it yesterday. Then you would have got absolutely obliterated. But you can see easy setup here for Phantom. Take a photo of this or screenshot this chart. Looks like a nice little entry lower down at 42. Okay, so that's the next bullish entry there for me. Alternatively, it's a trend break. Then there's work to do. Okay, if we do the work and it starts blowing through, we'll deal with it on my show. But you can see the next targets are going to be around 54, give or take, for Phantom. Okay, so that is done, and that is off my books for now. Here is Tao. And I just wanted to show you guys again the beauty of this anchored VWAP, and maybe it's worth getting on your chart. So what you can do is you can zoom in to the 15 minutes, and you go to this left-hand side bar on TradingView, and you can see I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top. You highlight your anchored VWAP over there, and you come and you drop it in on the lows, the absolute lows of that move. You can drop it in there, and then it prints your anchored VWAP for you. And you can see Tao, I mean, this is Ton, responding so nicely off this anchored VWAP. Okay, so now we've drifted into it again. Okay, and for me, it raised my interest. Okay, so what do I have here? I've got a 382, a little bit lower down. So for me, even if we get this little dip into that zone, looking for some kind of reaction there. Okay, if we start losing that, then I would say this whole idea is invalidated. But right now, you can see I've started a little position on Ton. If BTC bounces, I expect Ton to hold this region, float around, and then at some point, if the market turns nice and bullish again, this thing starts flying, and then we can start breaking trends and playing the game. But right now, you can see my logic behind it. You can see my reasoning, and 6.27, if we lose that, if we lose 6.27, then I'd say this idea it sucks, okay? And then we're waiting, okay? Then we're waiting for 618s, and that is going to be lower down somewhere over there. So that is how I'm playing this Ton at the moment. And we've seen Phantom fire. We've seen AVAX fire. What we haven't seen is Solana fire. We haven't seen Ton fire yet. And I mean, even fucking ADA was firing. Okay, so I think these things are going to have their shout at some point. Okay, and here is my current ZoomX situation. So I wanted to update you guys on Floki. We got a banger entry yesterday, and I was saying to Ray, I've been holding this trade open the whole day to show you guys on Floki. I've been watching this thing bleed down. I was waiting, and that's what I was always saying. This US market open is always brutal, because sometimes you get a pump into the open and then they just dump it immediately, like you guys are seeing now. So this is my current ZoomX situation, and you can see I'm in whiff. that you guys know about from yesterday. 𝗏𝗏𝗘, it had that beautiful 618 bounce. It was too good to ignore yesterday, that 𝗏𝗏𝗘 position. And then 𝗬𝗏, that is still my easy algo trade from, I think it was Monday night. So 𝗬𝗏 is just still doing its thing. And 𝗏𝗏𝗘 and WIF, they are rejecting now. And this is why it's getting interesting at the moment. So 𝗏𝗏𝗘, you can see what's going on. Massive rejection here. So I don't like the size of this rejection at the moment. But what is saving 𝗏𝗏𝗘 for me is a big horizontal. So we've popped through the horizontal. So ideally, we want 𝗏𝗏𝗘 to hold the zeros, multiple zeros, 132. Okay, if we can hold this 132, then we should be okay. Then we should be good to go to start grinding higher. So that is ultimately what I'm looking for now. I want to see this. I want to see the bulls jump back in here and start pushing this thing higher. We are just nearly at our TP zone, but a reminder for you guys how simple TA can be. And you know what we had here, we had an 8-hour downtrend, and what did 𝗏𝗏𝗘 do? Look here, they had a little pump, and all they did was come back. They retested the 618, they retested the trend, they retested the horizontal, 3 levels of confluence, bang, 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 and that gave you a potential entry there on 𝗏𝗏𝗘. So that is why I was so excited about it. Then as this thing started moving up, I obviously started adding to it to increase the size. So now we're going to see how this thing holds, and we're going to watch that area. If we lose today's candle, then I'm afraid I'm going to have to bail on that one, because then I would expect that we start drifting a little bit lower down and we start retesting levels lower down. Okay, and then WIF, for those of you that traded WIF with me yesterday as well, nice little mover, but a little bit front run our big TP zone. That was my first prize level, the 1.71. You can see we've now banged into a resistance band. So if you are in WIF, you know, maybe you want to tighten up the stops a little bit. Maybe you want to take something off for the handbag or one of those things. But you can see we are at resistance. Okay, what is nice, you can see this faint blue line, that's the anchored VWAP. We have broken through that. Maybe we're going to hold that thing for a potential bullish bounce there. It's all going to depend now on BTC and what the next game plan is on BTC. Let's just see where we are there. And yeah, okay, so I still want to see 59,600 here on BTC. Let's see if they're going to give it to us. Okay, so with traders, you are at resistance. Okay, exercise caution now. We've had a nice little trade, nice little move. Play it safe. Okay, look after yourselves there. Make sure you are banking something. And then I was contemplating flipping long on Tron. So we're going to talk about this now. You can see I am short Tron at the moment. I'm going to show you, well, you can see I shorted basically the top of that move. I'm going to show you guys how I did that just now. And then you can see I'm holding a 𝗏𝗏𝗘, which is busy round tripping me. Injective, not looking good at the moment. It's now turned around a little bit. And Matic, I'm in a scalp Matic. And Ray and I were debating this. He's short Matic. I'm in a scalp long Matic. My attitude was, this thing is ripping so hard, might as well run where the bees are and ride it higher. And we'll have to see. So my view was Matic wasn't at the level yet, the big level higher up. So I wanted to see how that goes. And then Rune, I'm still in that Rune short. No changes there for me. So that is the current trade situation. And Injective, this is why I wanted to show you Injective. I want to take profit here, and I'm using MDX Algo as a guide. You can see what's going on here with Injective. We're in this rising wedge. Okay, so you can see we've had a nice little move, and just to recap, we had nice little 382 reactions. Look at that, so many 382s here for Injective. Look at that, bang, bang, bang. And now it's pushed into a region of resistance, an area where we need to take note. Okay, this is an area where we look to take profits and things like that. Remember exactly what Think Mindshift says. You walk up the stairs and then you ride the elevator down, and it always happens quickly. Okay, so you walk up the stairs, you're grinding up, your profits going up, and then all of a sudden, bang, you go down the escalator and they rinse you out. Okay, so if you use MDX Algo, here it is. It's telling me TP. Can you see that orange there flashing? TP, TP, TP. And the last time it gave a TP, let's see. The last time it gave a TP, there was a big reversal. Okay, the time before it gave a TP, there was a tiny reversal, and then they sent it down again. Okay, so this is fairly reliable here, and you can see we are at resistance. So for now, I'm going to close this Injective long here, bank those profits. Okay, so Injective is done. Okay, that is now closed, and used MDX Algo as my guide. That's his trend master and telling me that maybe we should exit. So if you're looking for a new entry on Injective, I can show you how you can plan that. And we are just quite simply looking for a little retracement zone, a little bullish bounce zone. So you can see our 50-day MA in the way, and you're gonna practice the exact same thing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a fib from these lows, from where the move started, from that low to the high, and you want to look for a little bullish region. And here it is, the 618 and trend looking nice for us over here. Okay, there we go. So 18.7 for me, that's another opportunity for an Injective long. If we do get some kind of meltdown here, looking for a bounce there, 18.7. So it's as simple as that. And we'll see if we can hold that trend, then the bulls are on. The bulls are cooking. If we lose that trend, well, then we wait. Okay, we wait for some levels lower down. Think Mindshift says where to position the VWAP. You drop it on the absolute lows on the 15-minute candles, and then you will see it automatically puts that out for you. Okay. Let's go. Pepe was one of our, so there were 2 chart requests from yesterday. Guys, remember what you can do for me. You leave in the comments after the show, you leave the chart you want me to chart for you. One of them was Injective, you left yesterday. The other one was Pepe. Okay, so here's Pepe. You've just seen Injective. Here is Pepe. Remember, leave your comments after the show with the token you want, and Ray looks through them for me, and then he pings me, okay, and he tells me that I have to prep them for you guys. And here is Pepe, and one of the worst performing memes, if we have to be brutally honest, relative to Popcat, relative to Floki, Whiff, and some of the others. Pepe's been a little bit slow, but I would suspect that's because ETH is a little bit slow. You might have noticed Coinbase have received some more ETH from Grayscale, so there might be some more selling on the ETH front. But what we do know is when ETH turns bullish again, Pepe is going to rip. Okay, it just is. Okay, it's 100% going to rip. So watch Pepe closely, and we are still in our buy zone for the spot buyers, portfolio buyers, those type of things. You are still in the hot zone. You're still in the juicy zone. 78 down to 7005, anywhere in that hot zone for me is good. And you can see relative to these other altcoins, we've got a big move before we get to that trend. And you can see it's lagging. A lot of these other alts are already pushing onto trends, and Pepe still got 24% odd to go. So for me, spot buy at the worst. For me, it's a spot buy. Okay, so loading up on Pepe here, and you can see I am in that Pepe long at the moment. There it is. So I'm waiting for some action. Again, it's like watching paint dry at the moment, but eventually it will deliver. And there's about 25 odd % coming there for us on Pepe. So being patient on that one. Now, let's get into some Tron, and then guys, I've got 4 or 5 massive trend breaks coming for you guys. Some big setups here. Okay, so just be patient. It's coming. Okay, so Justin Sun, you know the deal. Okay, Tron's been the flavor of the week. Everybody, every man and his dog is talking about Tron, and nobody's talking about it more than Justin Sun, Mr. Tron himself. Okay, and he keeps tweeting about it. He's hyping everybody. He's hyping this whole situation here. And I just wanted to drop this with you guys. Ray, let me know if you can hear the sound. And we gave you this precision yesterday, okay? And this is what I want you guys to learn from these shows. This is what I want you to learn, and you can learn this stuff in Sniper Club and all these things, okay? This is what I wanted you guys to see. But here was me talking about this Tron yesterday. Just be careful, okay? This is what I want to say. If you're teeing up a short on Tron, you are definitely not the first to come up with that idea. I think Justin Sun, the man behind Tron, is well aware. Remember, this guy's got bags. He literally prints USDT for fun. He can go and buy Tron all day long. So I would recommend not shorting this thing, okay? Or short it. Or short it. I'm going to give you the options. I'm going to tell you what to do. I put this together. This is Tron now on the 15 minutes, okay? Look for the bounce here. You can see these nice supports. So this is the 0.158. Look for some action here. If we do get a little bounce and you get a rejection somewhere in that region, for me, that could trigger your head and shoulders play, okay? That could be a sign there that we're going to get a little bit more downside, okay? And then we could maybe start sending this thing a little bit lower. It's all science. It's all science. It's all science. But guys, this is what you like. Hang with me, okay? You'll see. We've seen these charts. We've been watching these candles for years, and we know how these things roll. We know what these guys get up to, okay? So hang around. It's always nice, when you get these things right. It's always great. Now, this is why I was saying earlier, I'm thinking about flipping long to Tron. Now, I have actually missed the opportunity now because I've been talking so much, but you can see why this is interesting. Okay, take a look here. Earlier today, we saw what happened here. Yesterday, I said to you guys, look for that right shoulder, 382. Okay, it's a simple 382 bounce. What did it tie in with? It tied in with the left shoulder. Okay, head and shoulders, bearish pattern. That's where you can look for potential shorts. Then what else can you get? When you get a pump back into a resistance band, a notable resistance band, that often gives you an opportunity to look for a short. Okay, here's the short. As it hit that area, that's where I opened the short. You watch it ride into that zone, and there it is. So bang, into that area. Now we're going to see we've drifted back onto horizontal support. So whoever was long off this region, you are 100% correct. Okay, this is your bounce zone that you're looking at, and you can see this thing is getting a little bit aggressive now. Okay, so this thing could move back to this 0.159 region. Let's see if it does have enough juice in the tank to hit that zone. Let's see if we get that move up there. So if you did long this 15 minutes ago, okay, you're good, you're cooking. I can't long this now. It's now too far above my entry that I was looking for. Okay, so we're going to let this one play out at the moment. I'm going to remain in my short. My assumption here is that it's not going to print a new high, that it's going to reject in this region. Okay, so if I'm wrong, this thing pops up and then it starts absolutely firing. So I'm leaving my stuff as is here. And if we do reject a little bit early, let's say, for example, Tron now starts rejecting at one of these levels. What you can do, very simple TA stuff here. You take your fib from the high to the low. Okay, look for that 618. Bang. Okay, what does that 618 tie into? Some horizontals here. Look at that. Nice. Okay, if we do get a little rejection here, okay, I can add to that short and then lower my stop. And then maybe we send this thing back to hell. Okay. But yeah, okay. But that's the plan. Okay, just be careful. Justin Sun, okay, you know this man. He prints USDT for fun. Okay, he can just buy this stuff up, and you can see what Zuzu is posting here today. He's saying this new Sun pump has done $585,000 in revenue. They're beating Pump.Fun, which is the Solana equivalent at the moment. So if you want all these shit coins, here they are on Sun Pump. I still haven't made money. You saw I bought about 6 or 7 of these shit coins yesterday, and they are still zero. Okay, so it's massive gambling here at the moment. And Binance, why is Binance there? Binance was there too early. Okay, let's get into the juice. Let's get into why we are here today. And this is Cryptic. Okay, Cryptic 𝗔𝗢𝗣𝗘. Okay, he says, NVIDIA looking super strong. Great. Liquidity and confidence coming back to crypto. AI charts have bottomed. Yes. If BTC holds above 60K, a resurgence feels right to me. Ray, where's BTC, bro? Did he miss the boat? No, we're holding 60K so far. But for me, as long as we get this bounce at this 59.6, then we remain bullish. Okay, we get that bounce. We remain bullish on crypto as a whole. We remain bullish on BTC. Okay, NVIDIA results coming next week. What do we know about NVIDIA results in the past? Okay, we've had multiple pumps from things like Render from NVIDIA. We've had near pumping AI layer 1 play. Okay, AI tokens just responding in general to bullish NVIDIA news, bullish NVIDIA earnings, and things like that. Is this going to be a little revival for these AI tokens and the market as a whole? Because I think that would actually trigger the market quite nicely. So just looking at this NVIDIA chart, now we haven't looked at it too much lately. We do have results next week, so we need to let things play out. But what we can do is say, let's look for some areas of interest here. If we do have good or bad results and things like that, where can you possibly grab this thing if the wheels start coming off and this thing falls over? So you can see what I've done here. I've got a little rising trend in play here on NVIDIA, and we've reclaimed that trend. So NVIDIA traders, okay, if you're looking for an area of interest here, let's say we start bleeding into earnings. That's probably a pretty bullish setup. Okay, if NVIDIA starts pumping into earnings, I'd say we need to look for shorts. If this thing starts bleeding into earnings, I think it's going to be a gift. So NVIDIA traders looking for a meltdown. Okay, let's look for a bleed out into next week. Anyway, into that region, 115 looks interesting to me. Okay, it looks like a zone of interest. So we've got tie in here. We've got some horizontals as well at about 117. So this whole little region here for me, NVIDIA. If you get a bleeder into earnings, I would say my guess here is that is a bullish. That's a bullish play for me. So Nvidia, let's see how that's going to tie in. And Eugene says the inklings of a relief rally are beginning to show. Great and he's talking about IO, and he's talking about Nvidia earnings soon and a recovery chart. Now the guys are talking about Nvidia, okay, and things happening again. And Mr. Crypto says the Bitcoin funding rates are extremely low, sometimes even negative. Okay, this is time to accumulate. So yes, we don't necessarily have to be leveraging to the tit here. We don't have to have 20x leverage longs. This is the time to start looking at good areas here on good quality altcoins, good quality coins that could respond if there is some bullish news and things like that. And I've got a few here for you guys. And I've been spending a lot of time looking at these charts today, trying to get you guys some proper stuff. And render, we can't ignore it. Okay, look at this thing. This is render on the daily. It's been fudded for the last couple of months. Remember, they switched to Solana. They were on ETH. They moved to Sol. There was all sorts of confusion. Nobody wanted to own render. They've done all the swap outs. You saw George yesterday reminding everybody that KuCoin actually paid out the render tokens. And I think people are turning bullish again on render, and the timing couldn't be better, leading into some kind of Nvidia play. So number one on my hit list here for render, I suspect we're going to get some kind of big mover out of render. I've been packing my render bags. Okay, and just to remind you guys what I think needs to happen here. So just going back in history, we've been talking 2 weeks after that mega dump and pump. We were talking about portfolio and spot buy zones. Okay, 382s, 618s, and double bottoms. Okay, the next option, if you haven't got any of those, your next potential one is starting to break daily trends. When you start breaking daily trends, that tells you, well, maybe the market sentiment is shifting. Maybe the trend is now going to start turning a little bit more bullish. And if you start breaking a downtrend, that typically tells you that you could be in a situation where you're starting a new uptrend. Okay, so what we're looking for naturally here, firstly, we've got to break the trend. But firstly, what I'm looking for here is a big push here out of render. Look at this. Okay, beautiful rejection area coming. So if we get a nice little pump out of render, we're going to get some kind of entry here that's going to take us to around about this 8 region that I'm looking at the moment. If you are buying this thing spot, you are good here. Okay, you bought on the 382. We didn't get the 618. If you start breaking this trend, this thing is going to turn super bullish in my view, and I think we're going to start getting a little bit more excitement out of render. So a couple of targets. Hello there, sir. Can I help you?
Let's smash the likes, guys. Can we double it up, please? Let's go.
He's like the likes bouncer. Okay, so my first plan here, render, and you've seen things like AVAX hitting the 50-day MA. Look how render is lagging the 50-day MA. Okay, so first plan here, we got about 14% coming for render, then a potential rejection. But my upside play for render here is about a 58% that we are looking for. So let this thing just start breaking this trend. When this thing starts turning bullish, we can really get excited about this. Now, I hope you guys were getting your buys on the 382s and the 618s, because if the market runs away, our only option then is to start buying these trend breaks and these retests then later. Okay, so be patient here, but render looking good to me. This is one of my banger plays here. I've been loading up on render, looking for some bigger moves, and it feels like it's going to be imminent. If we get Nvidia, good results for us here, things remain bullish, BTC behaves, these things are going to cook. Okay, these altcoins are going to pump, and I think render is going to revenge pump for you guys. Okay, here's Tower, another AI play. So Nvidia, maybe we turn bullish on AI tokens and things like that. Here's Tower. Okay, what have we done? We've smashed the 50-day moving average. We've smashed the daily downtrend. This is on for me. My bags are loaded here on Tower. You can see your invalidation points. Number one, exit points, if you want to know what that is. 50-day moving average. Okay, here we are. We've broken through the 50-day moving average. So your support that you're watching, 286. Okay, if you start closing under your support, you start looking for lower levels, 260, 222, which are all great DCA zone. They are all great buy zones for me for Tower. But right now, super bullish. We've broken the 50-day moving average. We've got an upside target here of the 200-day moving average, keeping this thing super simple here. We're watching this 200-day moving average, looking for about a 40% on Tower. What does that look like? Well, it's not, you never know. I don't think it's going to be a straight line like that. But for me, it looks like a little move up there. We're going to get a retest, and then we're going to push that thing higher. So that is the game plan here. Now, number one, naturally, with everything I'm showing you guys, BTC needs to continue ranging, or at the very least, holding these levels that we're at, 60K, 59K, those sort of levels, maybe a squeeze lower, okay, maybe a little bit lower. It won't be the end of the world. And it needs to turn bullish. Okay, at some point we need to get an aggressive bounce. We need to break that 61, 62K level. When that starts breaking, the floodgates open on these altcoins. I want you guys to be ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting prepped for these things. And this is how I'm planning it. So eyes on all of these things. And what's the rascal say? What about DOT? Time to ditch. Seems like dog shit. Guys, my honest view is DOT is dog shit. I just can't see it. Okay, there's DOT guys that love DOT. Okay, they're obsessed with DOT. For me, DOT's in the same basket as ADA, Litecoin, Matic, all those things. Okay, they can surprise us. They can pump. Yes, they can. Okay, are there better trades out there? Potentially so. But that's my opinion. Okay, I stand to be wrong. Okay, so Tower, you can see the game plan here. You've got clear invalidation. If you close under this 50-day moving average at 286, then you can maybe start trimming. Okay, and this is for guys now trading leverage and stuff like that. Okay, you got to understand, I'm looking at this from a spot perspective. This is like potentially big moves coming here on some of these altcoins. So I'm just trying to be prepared for these things. So 286, you close under there. That's a potential invalidation zone for you. Then you've got your big support from the previous dump, 260. Okay, these are two big levels here that you guys can watch. Watch these areas here. Look for these bounces. Okay, if we get some kind of big bleed out on BTC, these are the areas you're looking to hold. Okay, then lower down, you've got your defense, 222, and you've got your absolute lows. Okay, if we're going there, wow. We're going to be miserable. We're going to be so miserable if we're going there. So, look, my bags are packed. Okay, Render, my bags are packed. Power, my bags are packed. GRT, Bogdan, should we do this? My bags aren't packed on GRT, but I see Bogdan, he's in Sniper Club. He was saying he likes the GRT chart. And you can see teeing up for potential trend break here. And also AI narrative play for us, looking quite bullish. Okay, so GRT, if I have to pick Tower and Render, that's just my personal preference here. I think all of these things, all of these AI tokens will run anyway. And GRT sitting here at trend resistance. Okay, so bags not packed for GRT, but trend pressure, looking good, looking healthy, same game plan. Okay, if you get some kind of pop here on GRT, where we are right now, you're looking for that rejection, 50-day MA. Remember what I just showed you, AVAX, 50-day MA. It's already trying to break that level. I expect a rejection there, and then the big move. And the target for all of these plays is going to be the 200-day moving average, 0.26. Okay, so we're watching that area closely. And 0.26, remember, let's not get euphoric here. Okay, that's a potential huge rejection zone for us. Okay, next one. Look at this thing, IMX. Okay, we've seen gaming tokens have woken up. Okay, look at Cidus. Has anyone looked at Cidus today? That thing did like 30 or 40%, something stupid. Beam, I gave you guys Beam a couple of days ago. My bags are loaded on Beam. This thing is moving. Okay, here's IMX, another gaming play. Okay, maybe it's slightly dino gaming coin, but nonetheless, gaming narrative. And people are going to come back and buy this thing. Okay, and right now you can see IMX is breaking this downtrend and looking healthy. So we've got our 50-day MA in the way and just another lagger. Okay, look at this 50-day MA, looking for this little rejection here, and we're looking for this 200-day moving average target at 2.1. So there's potentially a massive play here coming on IMX. So options for you right now. 73% big target. Okay, now I'm not saying this is going in a straight line. This could be an absolute mess. Okay, remember, we could get some kind of bullish pump, then they can come try and end you, do all sorts of things to you, and then send this thing up. Okay, so just remember, this is not a straight line play. These things can take a lot of time. We're looking at daily charts, we're looking at massive targets here, and these are best suited for margin traders. These are best suited for spot buyers and things like that. But leverage traders, you know who you are, and I know who you are. And, we'll try and cater for you guys wherever we can for these particular charts. And right now you can see your daily low. Okay, that could be a region of interest for you, 1.184. Okay, 1.184. If you close below your daily low, this market is turning miserable. Okay, 1.184. So we've had a nice juicy day on IMX, looking for upside targets. Number one, 1.32. Number two, 1.65. Number three, 2.15. These are all your nice targets here. You can see they're very clear areas, very clear levels with confluence. Look at that 100-day moving average tying in with the horizontals there. That gives you a nice rejection zone. And we've also got horizontals tying in with the 200-day MA. So IMX, loving this. Okay, loving the fact that gaming has woken up. You know, is it short term? Is it a small little move? Is it going to be something like this that we had in July? It's possible. Okay, but still, that would be a nice little move pushing into that 100-day moving average. So IMX looking good to me. Gaming narrative. You saw Nakamoto games today. That thing's ripping, beams ripping, and the games are waking up. Look at Sidus. That thing's absolutely pumping. So I would expect IMX to come to the party, and then you guys weren't expecting this one. Theta. Look at this thing. Ray, when last did you trade this thing? And look at the size of this trend break. Okay, this is a massive downtrend. Okay, this was from the 14th of March, 2024. Okay, Theta. What is it doing now? It's sitting at our 50-day moving average. So that is interesting to me. Okay, this is our rejection zone, just like you've seen on AVAX and things like that. And the key here for me is that we've actually broken this daily downtrend. So now we've identified big support here for us for our next move. So we can be comfortable if Theta wants to pull back. We can be comfortable here and buy with confidence down to about 1.23. That's an area for me of big interest. So look for the rejection here. Okay, if you're buying this now, okay, especially on leverage, you are looking at a resistance zone. Okay, so you've got to anticipate that we get a pullback. But for me, this pullback zone here, this level, 1.22 to 1.25, anywhere in that region, that is teeing you guys up. Okay, for a big move, that is teeing you guys up for that 200-day moving average target. That is what we're going to be looking for if things play the game. Okay, they got to play the game. And naturally, we're not going to get too euphoric, okay, because there's going to be things in the way. And by the time Theta and these other coins get to these types of levels, you've most likely had multiple drawdowns or multiple pullbacks and things like that where you can get rinsed. Okay, so be careful because you can easily get this type of move, you know, before they send you up to that target. So just be careful with these trades. Look for spots. Look for low leverage things. Don't get yourself rinsed on the way. If you play the nice game, okay, what is it? The rabbit and the tortoise and the rabbit, the hare and the tortoise. Okay, tortoise, guys, spot trades, margin trades, let it cruise, let it do its thing. Okay, you sleep at night, those type of things. Okay, the leverage stuff that we have fun with, yes, we love that shit. Okay, we love it. But make sure you've got some spot strategy. Make sure you've got some margin strategy as well that helps you sleep at night. Okay, you don't want these things where you have to check your phone like Macro Mucky, 100x. What are you 100xing, bro? And Pickle, you late. Okay, I don't appreciate that you're coming to class late. Pickle, we need you on time. And he made it up there with his like smash. Okay, you are forgiven. Theta. So guys, Theta looking good. Okay, we've just smashed out everything. Don't forget, in the comments, leave the tokens you want. I'll chart them for you tomorrow. Be safe. Okay, you got your BTC level. Let's check. Actually, Ray, are we on our level yet? 786. Okay, we're still bouncing. Sol, we're still bouncing. Okay, Sol's just hanging on. Okay, so guys, you know the deal. Okay, if you took that Sol, if you've traded Sol with me, this is how simple it is now. Okay, you've got a slight bounce here. You can either watch it down to that 618 that I showed you about, or you can pull a stop loss there under those lows, protect your risk. Okay, go have lunch, go for dinner with the wife. Relax, okay? Don't stress about it. If they stop you out, you stopped out. We deal with it, a new position tomorrow. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Your stops can be on that 618 that I showed you. Let's just look at this quickly. Where's the Sol? Where's the Sol? Here it is. Okay, your stop option, you can see this chart here, excuse all the drawings on it. The 618 is most likely your next potential bounce zone. Okay, so if this region starts dipping lower, if you don't bounce on that 618, just be careful. Okay, we could see slightly lower levels there. So that is the game plan, and good luck with that. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday. Later.